So this is my wife's Kenwood HiFi system. This originally belonged to her father and then it was passed down to her. It dates from 1988 and it's known as a Kenwood M32. I do have the original manual for it here and it says on it M422 and M32. Searching online, the only luck I've had is searching for M32. So this is a stack unit, so there's three separate parts. We have a CD player, the tape deck, and then the amplifier and receiver for the radio is all in one here at the top. Still have the original remote for it too, which never gets used, but it's nice to have it anyway. When I first started dating my wife, this thing was only about 5 years old. So this has been part of my life for the guts of 30 years. And yeah, it has been used quite a lot over the years and it still works absolutely perfectly. This has been stored in the loft more than once. I would get it out and play with it for a few years and then things change and it gets stored back in the loft again. So considering that this hasn't been particularly well looked after over the years, it's flawless in its operation. There's a few little marks and stuff around it, ding out of the corner there, a few little scuffs on the plastic, but it still works great. So the CD player is just a basic CD player, not really much to tell you about it. It works great and has all the usual functions. Yeah, it has a repeat function and an auto shuffle. It has a memory function and P mode, and I've never used either of those. I don't think. I usually just put a CD in and hit play. The tape deck is model number X42, twin cassette. It has a dubbing feature. So you just one touch record basically to record from tape to tape, but it doesn't have high speed dubbing. It does have I think it's DPSS or DPPS. It's like an auto search. So when it's playing, if you hit fast forward, it'll skip to the next song. Or if you press fast forward twice or three times, it'll skip that many songs. Same for rewind. Does that on both decks. There's a recording level indicator there, and there's also a peak level indicator above it. It has a Dolby noise reduction. I think it's Dolby B. Again, it's another thing that I would rarely use is Dolby. I don't like the sound of Dolby. It cuts the high end unless it's a extremely hissy tape. I usually don't use Dolby. Your recording level can be turned up and down with these buttons here, and the cassette deck is auto selecting. So if I press play on the cassette, it auto selects on the uh, controls up here. This is all your inputs here. So this top part is the main amplifier, and then the tuner, although it looks like it's a separate part, it's actually part of the amplifier. And the model number on that is an R42L. So there's just a bass and treble adjustments on this and your balance over here. You can get a graphic equalizer for these. There's three different types listed in the user manual, but as you can see we don't have one on this. So you have all your inputs across here: auxiliary, video, DAT, tape A, tape B, tuner, phono and CD. You have a mute button here, your main volume controls, infrared port for the remote, headphone jack, power button, and then up the top is the radio tuner. So it has FM, medium wave and long wave. Again, radio is not something that I generally use. I very, very rarely listen to the radio, occasionally in the car, otherwise I'm listening to my own music. So recently I just purchased a record player for this. My wife said that there was originally a record player on it, but neither of us have a recollection of what happened to that record player, where it went. But I just recently bought one on eBay. It's a P42, which is listed in the instructions manual as being an optional extra for this, but that's the one that was listed. So we managed to find one on eBay and it's in the mail at the minute. So I'll maybe do a follow-up video when the record player or turntable arrives, getting it fitted. Hopefully it works. This thing is extremely loud and bassy. If you read the instructions manual, it's only listed as being 30 watts per channel. But with these huge big wooden speakers, this thing will basically shake the windows in the house if I turn it up full, especially if I'm playing a CD. The front covers don't come off on these speakers, so I've never seen the speakers in here, but the main woofer in it, the main speaker is a good 7 or 8 inches across there, and there's at least one tweeter at the top there. There is a input on the back, so I have a jack here, 3.5mm jack, so I can plug my phone in, so I can use Spotify or whatever to listen to random music. So I'll bring you in a bit closer, give you a closer look at this thing, and then I'll give you a bit of a demo. A nice vacuum display on the tuner there. You don't see them anymore. So since I got this out again, I have been sort of researching and looking at stuff online, and I was looking for that record player that I ordered for it, and these things fit stupid money now for any decent hi-fi. You're talking hundreds of pounds, and yeah, this would have cost hundreds of pounds back in the day, but yeah, you just can't buy stuff like this anymore, you know, new. So everybody wants the high-end audio systems. So to buy this on eBay, you're probably talking, you know, 300 quid, maybe more. And yeah, so if you have an old hi-fi laying in the loft that you don't use anymore, my suggestion to you is to get it down and get it cleaned and make sure you're looking after it, because these things are skyrocketing in price. So I have some royalty free music here which I downloaded from the YouTube audio library. So I'll give you a bit of a demo here. I know this won't come through very well on a camera, but just to show it working. Volume's at number 3 on the dial.